So up to the last month I was excited for Godzilla vs Kong, a new entry in the Legendary Monsterverse, which turned out to be fine, I would say. But if there's something that you don't know, is that it is supposed to be a remake of the 1962 Japanese movie of the same name. Actually, the names in the title are inverted. As the aspiring filmmaker I am, I decided to watch the movie, and I have to say that despite not watching much old stuff, I appreciated it. I mean, come on! They're battling on Mount Fuji, how cool is that? Caught by curiosity, I decided to get more infos, scrolling through Wikipedia, and I found something even more interesting than the movie itself. The project began with a story outline that featured King Kong battling a giant Frankenstein monster, written by Willis H. O'Brien. Willis, I don't know you, but you just gave me a freaking cool idea. What if, instead of Godzilla, King Kong faced Frankenstein? Wait, that's not how it is supposed to work. What if King Kong faced giant Frankenstein? Okay, perfect. So last month, I worked on the most epic animation I could make alone. It was a rough journey, and in this video I'm gonna show you all of it. So, welcome to Lloyd Animation, my name is Christian, and today I'm gonna show you how I made King Kong vs Giant Frankenstein. Before doing all the dirty work, I needed to set a bit of technicality. King Kong and Frankenstein were gonna have the same size as King Kong in the new movie, which is more or less 100 feet. And Frankenstein was gonna be slightly taller than Kong. Secondarily, I answered to the questions: where does this fight happen? When does it happen? But most importantly, how many shots did I need to show it in its entirety? Unfortunately, making animation does take a lot of time, especially if you're a solo team. So what I knew before starting is that this fight must have been brief. Or I could just crosscut, like the fight was a trailer. I actually think I'm gonna go that way. The animation wouldn't have lasted more than 15 seconds, short but intense. To proceed in an organized way, I needed to write down a list of shots and scenes first. But what exactly is a shot, and what exactly is a scene? Let me explain it using my last animation on Venom. As you can see here, the shot number changes when you see a cut. On the other hand, the scene number changes when there's a shift of location. For example, here the scene number changes when we switch from the protagonist's room to the road. So now that you know this boring stuff, I can show you the scenes I wrote. Scene 1, Shot 1. King Kong gets free from the chains in a theater. Scene 2, Shot 1. Frankenstein gets electrified. Scene 2, Shot 2. Frankenstein becomes a giant. Scene 3, Shot 1. There's me as a child looking up like I'm seeing my mom throwing me a flip-flop for the first time. Scene 3, Shot 2. Here's the big flip-flop. Alright. Wait. Scene 3, Shot 2. Here's King Kong and Frankenstein fighting in the city. After writing all, I quickly made some storyboard sketches and synchronized them with some music in the background. Here's the preview. And after all of that, I was finally ready. I would have got my giant monster animation in no time. Or at least that's what I thought. So as I said before, this is the shot where Kong is into a theater and frees himself from the chains. I basically wrote this scene thinking of citing the 2005 King Kong movie, but after some modeling work, I faced a big issue here. In the 2005 King Kong movie, King Kong is the smallest of King Kongs, around 25 feet tall. We could see it some kind of little brother of our protagonist. But as I said before, our Kong is not 25 feet tall, but 100 feet. I think that in reality he could fit here nonetheless. Of course the theater should be the biggest ever made, but it would be kinda stuck through the walls, which is not what I envisioned. So to solve the problem I could go two ways. Either change the size of both monsters in each shot, or switch completely the environment of the first shot. I went for the second one since it looked like the less expensive choice and I could keep my original vision. While solving all these problems, I also picked a color palette to stick to while making all the shots. Kong would have been the one with blue eyes while Frankenstein the one with red. Why? Because eyes represent the soul, and Frankenstein will be the bad guy here. I know, in the movie Kong has different colors, but I don't care. It's my f***ing video after all. So I switched the theater for a cargo ship into the sea. And don't worry, this time around I checked the size to make sure it was possible to have a ship bigger than Kong. In any case, the scene plays out like this. Kong frees himself while being shot by an helicopter. Talking about the actual realization of the scene, I started by modeling a basic ship into Blender. I also downloaded some components from the internet and assembled them to have quicker results. I also did the same for the helicopter. After that, I created a plane to use as ocean. I animated the ship to make it sway because of Kong movements. And of course you would expect it to move when a giant monkey tries to free himself using all of his strength. To draw Kong easily, I used a reference model made out of cubes and made it follow the ship. And draw time, it wasn't really that difficult to get through except for some little details. I finished the job, colored my sweet monkey, added some quick fog, and there you have it. A cool action sequence is ready to be rendered. Scene 2, shot 1. Okay, let me get this through. I wanted Frankenstein to be terrifying, but at the same time powerful. I had to find the right balance between strength and grotesqueness, because if I didn't, I would have ended up showing a bad designed character that does not fit his role. So say hello to my version of Frankenstein, ugly but muscular, the perfect appeal for Rule 34 artists. I also modeled the laboratory and gave to it a mysterious atmosphere. In this scene I also decided to add the Dr. Victor Frankenstein. What you see is actually a glimpse of him since he's not the main part of the story. Here, the creature gets electrified by lightning and becomes alive. Scene 2, shot 2. Frankenstein gets out of his castle by destroying it. First of all, guess what I needed for this scene? Yep, you guessed right, a giant duck. Oh wait, that wasn't it? Shit. What was it then? Oh, a castle! Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. So what I needed was a castle to use as reference and model it by myself. But not the first castle you can find on Google Images, no. I picked the real Frankenstein castle. After modeling and texturing the whole structure, I started drawing Frankenstein that stands up while getting bigger and bigger. I also given to him a classic scream pose at the end of the shot. Oh yeah, now we're in serious trouble. By the way, I know you all like the condensed quantity of information in this video, so please consider supporting me by leaving a small like, which really helps my channel grow. And together we will take over the world like Sir Frankenstein here. Back on track, scene 3, shot 1. So I know your question, okay? To be more precise, I know the question we're going to ask in 5 seconds, which is: does this scene really need to be here? We just want to see Frankenstein and Kong beat the shit out of each other. I know, but since we're talking about a fight on the Earth, which if you don't know is the planet where humans live, we have to consider the human perspective. So to speak, we could say that this badly sketched child represents the human point of view. That was deeper than expected, but that's just how it is, so take it as it is. Talking about references again, since the castle is located in Germany, I used some German city photos, and if you are already asking, yes, the first ones you find on Google. Anyway, I modeled a curb, a barrier, some quick houses, and there you have your environment. After that, I animated the camera movement and started drawing the child. This was pretty easy to animate since the child is in an almost static pose because he's scared. Shading took a little longer, but it was easy overall. After that, I also added some explosion and fire effects using basic meshes and some procedural materials made in Blender. And up to this point I was finished. The project was complete. What? Oh, I have to showcase the Kong and Frankenstein actual fight? God damn it, why did I pick this project? Scene 3, shot 2. Without counting the mistake in the first shot, the fight was the one that took me the longest. I had to plan a whole bunch of stuff to make the shots synchronize with the music and also entertaining enough. After modeling a quick city and recycling the house I made previously, I've been drawing Kong and Frankenstein onto 2 separate objects. The shot plays out like this. Kong attacks Frankenstein, gets punched away, screams in rage, crawls on a tower, and jumps to attack again. Between each action there's a cut synchronized with the music. Each action is slowed down because I found it to be more understandable compared to one animated at normal speed. Plus it would give that stylized 300 look that I love so much. Thank you, Snyder-sama. After coloring and shading the two giants, I also added some fire particles. Out of all shots, this is also the most impactful to me. The journey to this point was pretty hard, and I had to do many rescheduling because, hey, I have a social life too. School, work, making money, running an empire of slave bananas, but it's finally here. It's finally ready, and it won't stop at nothing. Here's the official Godzilla vs. Kong, an official remake with Frankenstein instead of Godzilla. Movie. Alright, my sweet subscribers and newcomers, that's all for this video. I did a lot of work this time around. I mean, I usually do a shit ton of work for every video, but this was really a lot. So let me know if you also appreciated it, and let me also know if you like the new Godzilla vs. Kong movie. If you're new here, feel free to check out my other projects. You should see the link right around here. I don't know. And see you the next time, boys.